Welcome everyone to another episode of B-Side Podcast. This is a podcast where we discuss blockchain business and of course, Bitcoin. My name is Jacob and I'm your host. And today with me is an incredible guest, Eduardo Carvalho. Eduardo, it's a pleasure to have you.
Well, thank you very much, Jacob. It was my pleasure.
Sure. So just to give you a little bit of background about Eduardo. First of all, he's an amazing person and a serial entrepreneur in various industries. He's got an engineering background and huge experience in building companies. For example, he started the first and biggest online printing company in Brazil. Also, then he moved to the luxury segment in the real estate. And now he's building in the blockchain space, Dynasty Global. Dynasty Global, that's actually a project that connects both his passions for technology and for the real estate. So maybe let's give it a start with a short question. So what Dynasty Global is all about?
Great. Well, explaining very, very shortly, Dynasty Global is a Swiss company and we issue a token that has a reference in real estate market. So I come from real estate. I have like 20 years of experience in real estate. And in 2016, I saw that was a problem in terms of liquidity of the properties. And looking at the blockchain technology, I say, hey, we have an opportunity here. If we issue a token and we can buy properties and we use these properties to generate revenue and maintain the ecosystem of the token, this can be a great idea. So that's how everything started. And we went to start a company in Switzerland.
Great. So can you explain also a bit of your previous history and previous experience, professional experiences that actually helped you with starting this kind of project? What was the biggest advantage?
Yeah, I think the whole experience since the college and university, it's somehow related because engineering makes you know how to plan things, how to analyze risk, to put a product in the market. This is really important. And after this, I passed through medical devices planning before the development, before the photo printing service, and then real estate that I'm almost 20 years there. So, real estate, knowing a lot about how to buy properties, sell properties, how it works, different jurisdictions of real estate, because each jurisdiction, you have a different rule about how to buy, how to maintain properties, the tax. So I think this was really, really important to start in a way that the project is feasible, because it's really important once you start a project that you know where you want to get. This is really important. So the background experience is I think it's one of the key to start a good project.
And also you mentioned Switzerland. This is where you live right now, but do you see any correlations between jurisdictions and maybe the legal framework? We've discussed it briefly before this talk. The today, especially if you're starting a business in the blockchain space, it's extremely important to have a lot of understanding and knowledge about the legal framework that you're going to operate in. So maybe you could share some of your experiences in those terms as well.
Yeah, yes. Just remembering that we started the planning in 2016. We started the project in 2017.
It takes time.
Yes, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. And we had to analyze many jurisdictions. And when I saw Switzerland, they didn't have the regulation in place yet. But I contacted the regulator. We sent a message through their channel. And then they answered us that they were working on the regulation. So they were preparing the regulation. It would take a couple of months, but it would be interesting for us to set up a company there, because in my perception was the best jurisdiction at that time that focusing in blockchain. That's why we established the company in Zug, well known as a crypto valley. So even if Ethereum started there, and they are very innovative and oriented to the development of new projects. So that's why we chose Switzerland. And after we have other jurisdictions developing their own regulations to onboard with other countries.
Sure. And speaking of jurisdictions, we now meet for the second time in Dubai. I think this is going to be a place where you come back quite often for a couple of reasons. But would you mind just sharing also your perspective on how Dubai positions itself against Switzerland and all the other places? I believe that we can all agree that this is the place that really wants to attract the Web3 companies and the innovation in this space to its core. But I'm really interested in hearing your position and how projects like yours could thrive here.
Yes. Well, Switzerland, of course, is pioneer. I've been here since 2017, my first time here in Dubai, to study the region about blockchain. And this time I see that the environment has developed much more. You have now the regulator, the VARA, that is looking at that blockchain projects. And you see that there will be a lot of opportunities here. So a lot of companies coming here, and Dubai for sure is a place of innovation. It's a place that supports innovation, and they are always willing to deliver more, to take a risk of new projects. So they see they want to build the highest building. They go there and they build. Now they are building the biggest airport in the world, the new Al Maktoum Airport. So it's huge. Will be the largest airport in the world with the largest maintenance center in the world. So they have a very interesting vision of development. So for me, Dubai is a place to be when you talk about Web3, when you talk about blockchain, when you talk about innovation. And here is a country that embraces and receives people from all over the world. So I see all nationalities here. All of them are welcome if they're doing like a good work and good job. And so it's a very important job that we interacting with the community here, we are doing, because we know who are in the field for a long time. So I see many people here since 2016, 17, 18.
So maybe do you see any challenges like on a cultural level or maybe on the business level? Because I agree with a lot of what you said, that Dubai is a forward thinking, as a risk taker, and at the same time they want to do it smart way, right? So setting up a regulated different entity for regulating all those matters, etc. But are there any drawbacks? Are there any problems that you yourself have been facing or have you observed?
Yeah, it's challenging. Everything in blockchain is challenging. The market is challenging. The technology is challenging. To prove all the concept is challenging, and the jurisdiction are challenging. So it's one more challenge that we are going to face.
Yeah,
because once you put together different cultures, different nationalities, sometimes you don't get what you expect in terms of timing, of understanding, maybe some language barriers that you understand one thing, the other person wants to say another thing. So you need to come here within
like 3 p.m. could be 4 p.m. or 5 p.m.
Can be, yes. We need to understand this, or it can be tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
No problem. But it happens. So I think when everyone is together thinking to develop things and to build the future, I think this is one thing that we can, is a challenge. Okay. To take on.
Yeah, sure. Amazing. So my question for you would be, to a person who's running a business in this space, what are the 3 steps and piece of advice, first 3 steps to actually start building something in blockchain based ecosystem?
Yeah.
How would you start it?
Well, the first step is to really think about your product in the market. So not just the concept, but how you're going to have the product on the market and consumers buying, why they're going to buy. So you have to be this very clear in your mind.
So in terms of the product market fit, you mean? Start with the product market fit and checking if there is is there a real demand for that?
Yes, exactly. Yes, you need to understand what, everyone say that what problem is solving, but you need at least to have a very clear in your mind. Because usually when you start a company, you spend a lot of time thinking on the business model, and there are things that only you is capable to see. And sometimes you need to check with others if they validate your ideas, but they don't have your background. They didn't pass through your experience. Maybe they can't validate your idea. So you need to be very secure in what you think. So once you are, then you are ready to face all the challenges that will come after.
Sure.
This is one point. The second point, jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
Check the jurisdiction that you start the project. Once it's viable, nice, and then find a welcoming jurisdiction and be prepared for a lot of changing and
A lot of dynamic.
extra costs that you can even imagine that exists. So you need to have a very flexible budget and of course go to the low cost, but you need to have a reserve. Otherwise you will stop in the middle, in the middle of the way.
Yeah.
And the third, but not less important is the partners that you choose to go with you. So they have to have the same understanding of the project. So they have to know exactly where the project is going to be, and they need to complement you with other characteristics. So if you are focusing development in the future, so you have to have a financial guy. You have to have like a guy that looks at regulation. So you need to be surrounded in a way. Yes, you need to be the most complete as you can with partners, because in the beginning you cannot afford to pay for the best specialists. So if they need to be part, it's good if they can be part of your team. So having part of your participation. And this is, I think this is the three main fundamentals for you to start. If you have these three, so you are good to start.
I think you're onto something. Especially I can resonate with the last part. Like, I think in terms of the competences and the partners that you are engaging with, this is especially crucial that you don't all follow the same niche. You have to be different, but at the same time follow the same direction. This is something extremely crucial for every project. So the last question of the show is regarding Bitcoin. So how do you see the future for Bitcoin? What is going to be its role in the society, in the world, in the financial space in the coming years?
Yeah, for me, nothing changed since the beginning. So the fundamentals keep the same. The halving happens every 4 years. There is the cycle of every 4 years. We have the bull run, then we have the bear market. I think this is always repeating. The difference between the first cycles and this one that we are right now, that we have full connection with the financial market, right? So we have all the banks, the major banks that are already connecting or connected already with blockchain technology. They already have custody. Some of them are offering this service for the customers. For example, last 2 weeks ago, we had the news about one of the biggest Brazilian bank that is offering directly Ethereum and Bitcoin through the platform. They have 23 million customers.
Yeah.
See, so this is one bank. So once you have many banks offering this door to crypto, the next bull run
will be
unbelievable.
I totally agree, because what I realized also is that in the previous cycles, people didn't have like the super fast gateways to actually invest. And imagine when Bitcoin hits another all-time high, it will be all over the news, right?
Yeah.
So everyone will have a point in time where they interact with the news about Bitcoin, going parabolic or whatever. So what they will do, they will use their regular apps that they use for money management, etc., and they will just click buy. That's what can drive actually incredible adoption in those services.
Yeah. I use always an example of my mother. I started very early using internet. In the beginning, it was just code. You didn't have even that color monitor.
Yeah.
It was really in the beginning. So she looked at it and say, "Hey, I never understand this, how it works. So I don't want to." She was not interested about the internet. But her knowledge now, it's almost the same, but now she uses internet, like WhatsApp, everything. Why?
Yeah.
Because the interface is much better. It's much easier. So now with the blockchain, with the crypto connect with the banks, everyone with access to their home banking, with the click of a button, millions of people can buy Bitcoin. And in the last cycle, they were only watching the news because they didn't have access to exchange. They don't know how to do peer-to-peer transaction. They don't know how to create a wallet. So now they can buy directly from their banks. So once the news about the price start going up, it will be completely different from the last cycles, because you have institutional players already connected. You have funds, many funds
Yeah.
that were established to buy crypto, and you have the commercial banks
And the retail investors
the retail.
ready to actually make a purchase.
Everyone. So
Yeah.
we are just waiting for this new cycle. I think it will be very, very different.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this is going to be very different results than we expected, and I can't wait for seeing this happening. So, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Eduardo.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
If you guys enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel, give it a thumb up, and see you at the next episode.